Welcome back to the channel where we mix things up, and today we're going to be reacting to the NBA's top 15 shooting guards this season. I've done point guards already, but just a warning, this is before the bubble and the playoffs. As you can see right here, it's on July 7, 2020. So as you see from the picture, Paul George is the top 10 player in the league. Now he's become pandemic P and is probably like a top 30 player. There's going to be also like, I don't know, some other players that fell off from the bubble and people who went up, like Devin Booker. So yeah, so I've done point guards and hopefully I do small forwards and power forwards and centers in the future. So yeah, if you like this type of stuff, then like the video and comment down below your opinions and your list. And also subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. I'm a very small channel, so every subscription counts, and I would really appreciate it. And also, if you subscribe to the channel, then comment down below that you subscribe, and I'll give you a shout out. Today there were no shout outs, so yeah. So comment down below that you subscribe, and I'll shout you out on the next video. So yeah, so just saying, you have to have at least played 500 minutes this season, and remember, this is only this season. This is not careers or anything of that stuff. So Victor Oladipo and Klay Thompson are not on this list, and this is prior to the bubble. Let's see. So let's begin. So at number, so we have Danny Green, Tim Hardaway, Evan Fournier, Buddy Hield, and Marcus Smart. So Lakers just won the championship. Shout out to them. But yeah, Danny Green. Danny can't Green at number 15. He hasn't quite the impact he was in 2018-19. Definitely. Okay. Before the season, yes, he was a clear positive. After the bubble, negative. Just, I've heard people say, we won a championship with Danny Green. Imagine what we can do without Danny Green. That's kind of sad. I don't know why they gave him death threats. He's still a good player. He knocked down 3 threes in game 5 where they blew them out. So yeah. So just disregard all this stuff. This is, of course, before all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, he can hit threes. He's shooting like 25%. He has like a tattoo, like an arrow, and he points at it when he makes a 3, and I've seen him do it like 2 times. Because he doesn't make any threes in the bubble. It's kind of sad, but yeah, definitely not top 15 anymore. I'd rather have KCP over it. Next, number 14, Tim Hardaway. Okay, I agree with this. He may have been the best season. He's shooting career high in threes per possessions, 3-point percentage, and true shooting. He's definitely been a lot better. He did pretty good against the Clippers. Sure, they lost in 6, but because Porzingis was out for basically 3 games because he got ejected in the first game. So yeah, so they've been a plus with him, with also Luka. Yeah, he isn't the best, like, defender, but he can knock down the floor spacer. He's going to be that hot and cold guy where he can catch on fire, or he's going to shoot terrible efficiency and knock down maybe 1 for 10. It's kind of sad. So yeah, all year when Luka's kicked it out around the perimeter, Hardaway has been 5th in total catch and shoot and has a 63.7% field goal percentage. So yeah, pretty good for Tim Hardaway. I definitely agree with this, but not Danny Green. Next, Evan Fournier. Okay, so they've been the bottom 10 in offense, and he has put up 20 points a game. He's been a life. He kind of choked in the playoffs, but Nick Vucevic took over, and they're the best game 1 team in the league. He's second on the team in scoring with 18.8 and first in threes with 2.7. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He isn't just a catch and shoot guy. He's done plenty of damage. Shea, Chris Middleton, Kemba, James Harden, Damian Lillard, and Chris Paul are the only players in the league who have matched or exceeded his field goal percentage. Field goal attempts, 352, and effective field goal percentage, 50.6. Yeah, that's good company. That's also really good company for Shea. I think that's actually really good for Shea. I think Shea will be on this list because Chris Paul was on the point guard. So yeah, so Evan Fournier definitely, he has a $20 million player option. So I don't know if he's going to want to stay. Maybe, unless like the Magic are okay with being the 8th seed every year. I mean, someone has to be the 8th seed every year. So yeah, so he might get a bag if he declines it. Maybe like, again, 20 million. Next, Buddy Hield. Prior to the season, Stephen Curry and Steve Novak were the only players in NBA history with seasons which they matched or exceeded Buddy Hield's 2019-2020 for threes for 75 possessions, 4.4. In a 3-point league, his efficiency is very important. And so, as we all know, Buddy Hield requested a trade. He's been liking some on Instagram, some Buddy Hield to the Sixers. So I think he's kind of kind of requesting a trade there. They can maybe throw in a Josh Richardson, Al Horford, the 21st pick. And then, Josh Richardson, maybe he'll fit better with Fox. So he's been a steady player. He did get benched, of course, for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Very sad, but Buddy Hield, he's just a pretty good three-point shooter. He has some decent playmaking. He isn't going to provide the most defense, but just shooting is so essential in the NBA right now, so I guess number 12 is fine. Next, 11, Marcus Smart. Okay, I would even think about putting him higher because he's just so important than on the Celtics. Yeah, he and players embody the argument for advanced stats better than Marcus Smart. His efficiency is pretty bad, but he's not the best shooter, but he can catch on fire. Their net rating is 0.4, but let's see. Yeah, he's just such a good playmaker. He's averaging 13.5 points a game with all NBA first team defense. So that's pretty good. Across the board, his basic numbers look pretty average, but advanced numbers love him. If you just watch the game, you know Marcus Smart is the leader. Next, 10, Zach LaVine of the Bulls. Okay, I would definitely have him higher. I don't know who they have in front of him, but he put up 25 points a game while nailing 50% of his twos and 38% of his threes, which is very good efficiency. Sure, the Bulls got a bottom 5 seed in the East, but I think Zach LaVine is that second option guy. He's gonna be like the guy who can be the first option, but he doesn't lead to wins. Like an example is, let me think. So a good example of this, I know they're very different players, but Kevin Love. He was the first option at Minnesota. He was such a beast. He put up statistical monster numbers, but they didn't win any games. Then he gets traded to Cleveland, where he's the third option, and they start winning a lot. Sure, they have LeBron and Kyrie, but Kevin Love is very important. Like a good example also is Chris Bosh, who did basically very similar. But so he's gonna put up the efficiency. He might get traded for to the Magic or the Nets, which is a possibility. But he's just such a good scorer. One of the worst. I mean, his defense has been better, but his playmaking is okay, and his triples are so insane. He's just such a hot scorer. When he got that ACL tear, everyone was wondering, oh, well, Zach LaVine, his career is over. But then he got a $20 million deal, and he's been a beast now. Next, number 9, CJ McCollum. Okay, I think CJ is better than Zach LaVine. Sure, he's not going to put up better stats, but he makes the playoffs. He is a second option. He's going to do a lot on the offensive side. He always steps up on the playoff. He doesn't get to the rim or fouling at a high clip, but he is really good. He's a coin toss player when he does attack the basket. He has well chemistry with Yusuf Nurkic and Damian Lillard. Let's see. Okay, so he's just such a good player. Sure, he's overrated, where he signed a 3-year, $100 million extension. That's a lot of money. $33 million? Yeah, that is a lot, but he isn't paid to be a first option. He's meant to be a second option. I think he might get traded to I don't know. I don't know if the Raptors will do OG Anunoby for CJ. I don't think they will. Let's see, McCollum. He is one of the smoothest scorers alive, definitely. What separates McCollum from Zach LaVine is just a matter of opportunity. Yes, he has been a second option, and Zach LaVine has been a first option. He averages 21 points in the regular season, but steps it up to 23 points in the playoffs. So every team wants a playoff. Every team wants a player who's going to step up in the playoffs, and that's what CJ does. Next, Donovan Mitchell. Oh, okay, this is way too low. Mitchell deserves to be top 5, top 6, about that. Yeah, Mitchell, he scored so many points. Oh, he scored 2 50-point games. That battle against Jamal Murray was insane. That was just such an epic battle. Donovan Mitchell can just do everything. Sure, he's a 6'1" shooting guard, definitely undersized, but he can hit the 3-ball, can attack the rim, so good at free throws, just carries the Jazz offense. It's crazy. If you're watching those 7 games, sure, they blow a 3-1 lead, but Jamal Murray and Jokic are better than just Donovan Mitchell. Because Rudy Gobert will provide some defense, so Jokic destroyed him. But it was basically 2v1. There was no Bogey Bogdanovic, so Jordan Clarkson was a good scorer. Let's see. So yeah, he's just such a good shooter, so good at everything. Got a grade on a supermax with the Jazz. I think that he definitely deserves it. And yeah, he's definitely higher than this. Next, Shai, definitely no. Shai is too high. Shai is too high. Shai is too high. Put him at maybe. I would even have maybe Zach LaVine over him. Okay, so I would probably have Shai at 10. Well, he is a playoff. Okay, Shai at 9, CJ at 8, Mitchell 7, or I don't know who's ahead of him, but this is definitely too high. Yeah, he has so many tricks. The second-year player is not better than Donovan Mitchell. No way, Jose. So yeah, he's been super good, and so yeah, so Shai will be probably a future stud in the league. He has so many tricks. He's so fun to watch. And yeah, he has soared up to 43% from threes, I think. He's just 45% from mid-range. And his free throws are very good. With having leadership of Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder, he's going to continue to develop. Sure, Chris Paul might be traded. And his peak is definitely all-star. He's definitely too high, but Shai at number 7, he's definitely a top 10 shooting guard. At number 6, we have Jayson Brown of the Boston Celtics. He's, like Shai, way too high. Donovan Mitchell is an all-star. He should be over all of them. He should be probably number 5. But there's probably one, like Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, no Klay Thompson, James Harden. I guess Paul George? Yeah, because it's before. Who's the other guy? I don't know who he is, but yeah. So back to Jayson Brown. He's a good player, must admit. Just sometimes he becomes really silent because, he was benched last year. He didn't have a very good season, almost an all-star this year. But when Jayson Brown puts up at least 20 points a game, they're 40-5 or something. I don't know. It's not exactly right. But yeah, so with the climb of Jason Tatum to superstar, Jason Tatum has always been very consistent, 20 points a game while creating 38% of his threes and 55% of his twos. Let's see. So his defense is also really good, and so his elite 3 and D special abilities have fringe star value. He's more than that because he's very good at offense. And Giannis, DeMar, Chris Middleton, and Brandon Ingram are the only wings who match his scoring usage and true shooting percentage. So yeah, pretty good place to be with, but he's too high. I would have him over Shai. Maybe put him back maybe at 7. Put Shai 1 back, Donovan Mitchell up, and then keep those 2. So yeah, so next, number 5, we have Devin Booker. Who's the guy ahead of him? Okay, he's definitely has to be much higher. He's probably a top, without Klay Thompson, a top 3 shooting guard in the league. You can say Donovan Mitchell, but it's James Harden, I guess Bradley Beal, then maybe it's Paul George, I don't know. But Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell are in the same realm. He's averages 26 points per game on a crazy efficiency. They, of course, went 8-0 in the bubble. Such a good scorer, not going to provide the most defense, but adding Ricky Rubio was a good start because now he can make and he can play off the ball, which he's much better at. Then you also got Kelly Oubre and DeAndre Ayton, who both look pretty good. So yeah, so they definitely have a good future in they have Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson look pretty good. Oh, shoot. So between this and offense, so yeah, so he's definitely have to be higher. But Devin Booker, an absolute stud. Number 4, Jrue Holiday. No. I see why they have Jrue Holiday here. Yeah. Jrue Holiday is too high. He's really good and unappreciated. Yes, he is unappreciated. But he's not ahead of Devin Booker, who was just an all-star. Or Donovan Mitchell, who was an all-star. Donovan Mitchell are too much disrespect. Too high for Jrue Holiday. Sure, I might have him over Jayson Brown. Sure, yeah. And Shai, that's cool. But you can't have him over Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker. That just makes no sense. So yeah, so he has been a good leader. He probably will be traded to the Nuggets or the Nets this year. Sure, his usage is down, but he's taking the occasional jump shot, and he's a pretty good offensive engine. His defense is, of course, really good. Just like the 6 players he spent the most time guarding: Luka, LeBron, TJ, Shai, Damian, and Devin Booker. These difficult assignments don't equate to good defense, but Holiday is an exclusive ball hawk, so that is very good. Of course, his defense is super good. Oh, I keep on showing it to you. But let's see. So finding another way. Let's see. So yeah, Ben Simmons is the only player in the league with a higher two-way workload than Jrue Holiday. So yeah, number 4, way too high. I'd put him at like number 6. Move Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell up, but he's still a good player. Next, Bradley Beal. Yes, definitely. They probably have Paul George at 2. But yeah, he's 6 in a gray star, superstardom. Sure, I don't know why he didn't make the All-Star team. He was I don't know if he was snubbed from the All-NBA, but definitely All-Star team. Many people were talking about Bradley Beal as an All-Star starter, and he didn't even make it. That's extreme disrespect. Sure, they were like the 9th seed. They still made it to the bubble. So yeah, they're not bad, but he didn't provide much defense this year. He's a top 25 player, probably. Without John Wall, Beal has been an absolute stud. I don't know if he will be traded because Wizards don't want him to get traded, and John Wall has been saying that he's willing to let Bradley Beal take over, re-sign Davis Bertans, hopefully get like an Isaac Okoro, keep Isaac Bonga, of course. You always keep Isaac Bonga, or draft Neko Kopo, get some good defense, let Bradley Beal score, and yeah, so then maybe the Wizards will be a playoff team, maybe they try to get Rudy Gobert, but yeah, number 3, definitely. Number 2, yeah, pandemic fee, sure. Is there more plug-and playing superstar than Paul George? Yes. Jimmy Butler, definitely. Let's see. So his defense was good. Was good before the bubble. Everything, yeah, he was the second best shooting guard before the bubble. And then he had some injuries. Playoff P isn't laughable lane right now. Exactly. Because he's way off P now. Don't bother against because he is an All-NBA defensive team. Didn't make it because he was injured, but yeah. And then number 1, James Harden, no question. He's the best. He's been the best shooting guard in the league for like the last 5 years. He's a top 4 shooting guard of all time. And so yeah, it makes sense. He's the best, maybe without Kevin Durant, the best scorer in the league. So yeah, that's the list. I'll review it one more time. So we have Danny Green, Tim Hardaway, Buddy Hield, Evan Fournier, Buddy Hield, Marcus Smart, Zach LaVine, CJ, Donovan Mitchell, Shea, Jayson Brown, Devin Booker, Jrue Holiday, Bradley Beal, Paul George, and James Harden. I don't agree with the whole list, but a decent list. If you want to see the small forward and power forward list, smash the like button, and I'll see you all next time.